Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Well, tell me about yourself first. I didn't. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Paul Brown Show. This evening, my guests will be First Sergeant Dennis and Cadet Battalion Commander Blackwell. How y'all doing today?
Very well.
Doing great.
And they're from the West Charlotte JROTC Program. First Sergeant Dennis, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, myself and my battalion commander would like to thank you for having us on your show this evening.
Oh, no, sir. It's my honor to have y'all come in, you know what I'm saying, and tell the community about this program.
Well, I appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Absolutely.
But my name is First Sergeant Larry Dennis. This is my 5th year teaching JROTC at West Charlotte High School. I spent over 20 years in the United States Army. I enlisted in the Army in 1982 to be exact. I enlisted in the Human Resource Management area. I also spent over 13 and a half years in the United States Army Recruiting Command. I had the opportunity to serve young people in the state of North Carolina for 10 years. My last duty station, I was a company first sergeant over a recruiting company in Columbus, Ohio, where I was responsible for 9 recruiting stations. And then I decided that I wanted to change, and I retired and I started teaching Army JROTC. And this is my 14th year teaching Army JROTC, and I'm still excited about it.
Congratulations, sir. Doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Battalion Commander Blackwell. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, born and raised here in Queen City. I'm 17 years old, a senior at West Charlotte High School. You know, one thing that I always just love to say to anybody, you know, just give it all you got, always, and that's just what I always do within the program. And, you know, this was I implement throughout my whole life with all my siblings and everything, and that's who I am.
As the battalion commander, you're the top of the list. You're the head person. How does that make you feel?
It definitely comes with a huge sense of responsibility. I'm honored to be in the position, first of all, because then it just shows to me that my instructors have entrusted me a position that is just, it's a time-sensitive position. You know, you got to think on your feet. You're also influencing a lot of cadets, so it's an honorable position. But one thing I always like to think about it to keep myself humble is that I could be a platoon sergeant and do as much as I can, as much as possible. Or I could be the battalion commander and do as much as I can, as much as possible.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm a leader just like anybody else, and at the end of the day, we all have the same mission, and that's just what I want to do. I want to accomplish that mission.
First Sergeant Dennis, describe that feeling that you have teaching these young students that military lifestyle and how that's going to be if they decide to make this their career.
Well, I'll start off with a word, and it's called goosebumps. Every morning I wake up with goosebumps, knowing that I'm going to a high school, the West Charlotte High School,
Correct.
and that I am going to make a difference in young kids' lives every day that I wake up. Every day that I wake up in the morning, I know that I'm a difference maker. And I know when I wake up, it's some young little kid at West Charlotte High School Army JROTC program is looking forward to seeing First Sergeant Dennis. So it is a humbling experience. I don't take it for granted. I've been blessed to teach 5 years at West Charlotte High School and blessed to make and major impact on the young kids over at West Charlotte High School. It's been very humbling and impacting.
As one of the cadres at West Charlotte, you probably had to select this young lady to be the battalion commander. What was it about her that made y'all decide that she was the one?
Well, this young lady, when we sat down and we collaborated between the 3 instructors, and as the old saying, I say, when we pulled back the onions, and we looked at academics, we looked at commitment, we looked at character, we looked at commitment, she was the one. She was the one. We also looked at accomplishments within the JROTC program. And then we looked at who is that one cadet that these other 150 some kids have the utmost respect for. And she was the one. That's why today she is our battalion commander.
Cadet Blackwell. Okay, listening to these things, what do you feel that, what's your expectation of yourself?
An expectation for myself just on the daily basis is to always show my better self. You know, never to be that kid that's, everybody always has dilemmas that they have to get through. Never to be that kid that musters in those dilemmas, like, oh, this is happening and that is happening. Everybody has issues going on, but you don't muster in those. It's always showing the cadets, like, hey, you're going through this, but you can do this, okay? There's always a better alternative. You always have the fork in the road. There's always a better way to go. So just being my better self and bringing that out of the cadets themselves.
Mm.
Now, we're noticing all these awards that you have, young lady. Tell the audience a little bit some of these awards and, because that shows a lot about yourself.
Yeah, so I definitely love my uniform. I'm honored. I get it cleaned. I iron. I keep the seams in the trousers, everything. And one thing that I have here on my left side, the first medal that I got here was a superior cadet when I was a Let 1. Okay. And that's basically when you've proven, like he said, commitment, dedication, academics. That's basically what happens when you get that medal. Here towards the end, our very last award ceremony, which we have at the Bojangles Coliseum annually, you got awarded for my academics. Okay. And then for this one here is the VFW. So it's one of the many military posts, usually built up of retired military veterans, that they'll come out and they'll support us or they'll sponsor us and things of that nature. So they also awarded me with that. Then I have like parade ribbons and color guards. So it just shows the many things that I've been dedicated in the different special teams, as well as things that I do. Because it also goes outside of JROTC, things that you do in class. If you did a varsity sport, you get acknowledged for that. If you're in band, you get acknowledged for that. This here is my cord. Actually, they have many different cords that you can be awarded with. First Sergeant chose this one out. It's a very interesting cord. Is when the Colonel awarded me with it. It was pretty interesting getting it on here. Because right here you have the clover. When you latch it on there, it's a whole wonderful, complex experience of putting it on there. But this is what the drill team commander cord. And so basically what I do is, drill team commander, just make sure that everybody knows how to move, how to get in and out, and that we're not there for too long. It's the same thing that they tell us the military does, being able to shoot, move and communicate. That's what drill is all about, being able to get where you need to go. And then this, of course, my battalion commander cord. So this is, what I've been honored with. Last year we had our battalion commander, Daniel Gilmore. He had this on his shoulders when he was the battalion commander, and he graced me with it when he left out.
First Sergeant, you're looking at this young lady right here. How many cadets do you have at West Charlotte currently, and why do you feel that more students should get involved in the junior ROTC program?
Well, we presently have 178 cadets in the program. And I'm proud to say that our numbers have increased this year. Actually, we have a waiting list. We had so many kids that wanted to be a part of the program. The counselors couldn't fit them all in first semester, so those kids will come in second quarter.
Okay.
So we're very excited about that. JROTC, the mission of JROTC is to motivate young kids to become better citizens. I think it's important that I say that. And I think it's important that I also say what is not. JROTC program is not a program to recruit kids in the military. Okay? We focus, why these kids are trying to get in this program? Because they want to be a part of something unique. Okay? They want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And they want to be exposed to things to stimulate some dreaming. And that's what JROTC does. Most importantly, JROTC stimulate these kids to start dreaming. You know, dreaming about going on to college and, you know, becoming doctors and lawyers. And matter of fact, just today I was looking at a report from a survey that we did, and I had 4 kids in my JROTC program that wrote that they plan on attending Harvard University.
That's good.
So we got an inner city school, and we got first year cadets that's already dreaming of going to Harvard University. As I said earlier, the program is not about recruiting kids in the military, but these kids see how successful we are, and we lead by example. So a lot of these kids do go in the military. You know, when they approach us and they want to follow in our footsteps, we do everything within our power to help them, you know, move on to the next level. So, you know, it's a very humbling and impacting job that I have, and I love it.
Correct. First Sergeant, when you see other students trying to sway your cadets from doing the right thing, what kind of advice do you give them?
Well, I have a saying that my first year cadets, because I teach the let ones, and they're the 9th graders, the first year cadets coming in. And I always tell the cadets, you know, you got to stay away from the dream snatchers. You know, I don't care where you go.
Correct.
You have kids that when you say, I'm going to Harvard, they're going to say, no, you can't go to Harvard. You know, so you got to get around positive young kids who want to be something in life. And again, I tell them, stay away from the dream snatchers and try to get around kids who are moving forward. You know, kids who are dreaming, kids that are saying, I can, not I can't. Those are the type of young kids within the school setting that you want to be around. And we preach that every day to our JROTC cadets. Stay away from the dream snatchers, because don't everybody wants to see you successful.
Correct.
You know, and as you and I grew up, my parents used to talk to me about crabs. You know, if you ever seen crabs in a bucket, sometimes, you know, when one crab trying to get out, you know, you got all those crabs trying to pull him back down. So, you know, I talk to the kids about that. And for the most part, Mr. Brown, they're listening to me.
Correct.
They're listening to me, and I'm happy about that.
Cadet Blackwell, being that you're the student, you're at West Charlotte, what do you think is the biggest difference between yourself as a freshman and you right now?
I want to say definitely my interpersonal skills and intrapersonal skills, which is one of the things when my let 1 year, being in his class, those are one of the first things that you learn. Because when growing up, a lot of kids are very, you know, into themselves, or in that shell. They don't really want to come out. And you have the kids that are like all out there, outgoing, you know. We learn how to balance the two, how to not to be too out there where you don't give other people the opportunity to do what they want to do, let them shine, but also to be able to kind of sit back and say, okay, I'm gonna let you do this. When I was a freshman, you know, I'd be in class and I'd have, you know, friends from middle school. If I knew you from middle school, we were friends in high school. It wouldn't make any new friends because I'm not expressing myself. I'm not talking to new people. Now,